Peace, peace, YouTube. This is No Slacking, aka God Body Flip Mode on my Masterpiece Fuller channel. Today I want to be talking about personal liberties or constitutional case law. If you can follow my God Body Flip Mode and No Slacking Black Panther page is on Facebook. I'm also filed with the Department of Secretary of State. Just want to let y'all know that I'm filed as the Chief of the Yamasi House of Indigenous Sagamores. I am Noble Fuller Ali, filed with the Secretary of State in March 16, 2016. My current status is active. Right now I want to talk about the game changer on how to stand in the courtroom. And a few later slots I'll be talking about what we would call constitutional case law. And who I am, dealing with the right to travel and things like that. But the game changer that I wanted to talk about today was Article 3, Section 2. The Constitution, where it says diversity is at the foundation. All parties must clearly, not vaguely, but all parties must clearly, this means the accuser and the accused, for the record, state their name, nationality, nation, state, and the Constitution which they are using in controversy in the courtroom. And this is supposed to be set for the record. For this sets the status of the parties for the record before the court, not the corporate entities. So what I'm saying is it has to be a living man or a woman who is the accuser. It can't be a corporate entity. And the reason I'm saying it can't be a corporate entity, for example, i.e. the state of, no matter what state you're in, is considering that the state that's going against you is a corporate entity. So this means that they're not a living man or a woman. So they can't accuse because they're an entity. And an entity is dead. It cannot stand witness because it is on paper and a private corporate entity on paper at that. This is why they keep asking you to waive your rights in the courtroom. So you don't want to get into subject matter jurisdiction with them. You're supposed to be there to clear that up. You understand what I'm saying? So keep this in mind. Rule number 1 of the first rule is status of the beings before the court. Well, first of all, we have to know that the court is a tribunal. So the status of the being or beings before the court, and when I say being or beings, who am I talking about? The being that I'm talking about is the parties in controversy. This means they must be clearly, not vaguely, but clearly identified thoroughly for the record. So they cannot be a bus driver, they can't be a fire chief, they can't be a judge, they can't be a DA, they can't be a police officer. This is not identity. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to get a little bit deep into that. So understanding when you go to court, what is your case? So now you're dealing with the charge or the case number. And when you understand that the case number, the charge has a docket number to it, well, the docket number is what they use in the courtroom. But you have to understand that this docket number has ties to a bond that is already on Wall Street, dealing with the stock market. That bond is being fished out. This is the protocol. You understand what I'm saying? As long as this bond or credit is moving or has not been deceased or closed, the court will hold things up to generate finance, litigated or not. So this is how they end up getting all this finance added up at the end of the day, whether it's litigated or not, against you for you to pay. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why the Constitution commands a just and a speedy trial by members of your own peer and not government agents or however you want to say it. You know, when people get called and they say, well, you know, I got jury trial. If these are not a jury of your peers, then they're in violation of the Constitution, and you can't. There's a remedy for that. So you ought to put a lien on a bond, and the bond is put in place for you to put a lien on it. But if you don't understand this, then you're pretty much going into this courtroom not really knowing how to operate or to protect yourself. Thus far, you waive your rights and end up going into going subject into being prisoner of war or locked up, however you want to say it. So you'll go after the surety bond. A surety bond is a lawful and legal requirement of any man, woman, or contractor operating in public office capacity in any format. that engages in the public in any kind of manner whatsoever. So that either imposes law or regulation or tax or right or any way of inquisition whatsoever. They must have a bond. You understand what I'm saying? So the bond for a police officer or a public official is an insurance policy, where so the delegation of authority is the driver's license for me or you or anybody who's using that identification card. And this is where civics comes in. So you're to put a lien on the bond. You understand what I'm saying? The bond should be public, but they have not made it public, and I really don't know why they chose to try to keep the bonds from the public's eye. But it states that if you belong to any organized groups that talks about people's rights and liberties, it is your duty to teach such things to the people. That's what civics is. So they're supposed to teach you civics, and civics is the science and government which the relationship of government with the nationals and citizens and vice versa, and the social duties clearly spelled out for all parties. So failure to institute those principles leaves the people open with much injury. Rights are not given, they are secured by the constitutions and treaties. Failure to claim my right is a waiver of my rights. And this is called, I'm trying to say it right, tacit acquiescence. I think I'm saying it right. So at that time, tacit acquiescence at all. At that time, they're assuming jurisdiction over you. So I want to leave y'all with that. I'm going to be uploading some more things, some more documents up to my lives, up to my videos, up to my Facebook, up to my YouTube channel. Peace and bless to all the kings, queens, guys, and goddesses that choose to view my page, my content, and much love and respect to those of you elect us pushing this information and knowledge around the world. Peace.